Wow, there's some tough nights in Philadelphia sports history, and this is going to be up there with them as we welcome you here to Eagles Postgame Live, brought to you by Curado Insurance. Amy Fiddle, Barrett Brooks, Ron Jaworski, Jason Avant, and Reuben Frank. And we're going to go back up to the Meadowlands and check in up there after a very surprisingly and unnecessarily puzzling loss to the Giants.
Puzzling is a really nice word.
Right.
I'm PG. It's a PG show, even though we're approaching 11:30 at night.
Last hour.
Horrifying.
I mean, honestly, so we're all watching upstairs, and we all know what happened. In case you've been living under a rock, the Phillies lost in an epically brutal way to the Dodgers, and they are now out of the postseason. And then you have this, and people were probably tuning back in, and they're thinking
the Flyers lost too.
The Flyers did lose, yes. So for the first time, those teams have played
Trifecta.
8 times ever in their history, and
How the
they all
Sixers
lost.
do?
Sixers did not play, Reuben, so there you go.
The best night.
Undefeated. But, I mean, confounding. There was just so many things to take away from this, Barrett, but just how in the world do you let that Giants team run all over you, throw all over you, and then you turn the ball over?
I'll tell you what, we were discussing it upstairs, and to me, it was just all about in the trenches. We just got physically beat up, manhandled, punched in the face. It made us like it. And that's always been our hallmark. That's what we hung our hat on. And today, we just got outmatched by a team that wanted it more than we did. They outphysical us. They outplayed us. And, I mean, this is something that I didn't think I would see this year. Yes, we're going to get everybody's Super Bowl play. Everybody wants to beat us. We're Super Bowl champions of old. This team here, they got to get ready for, the rest of the season being this way. They're going to get everybody's best.
You know what really bothered me? There's a lot of things, but they didn't compete.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Second half of this game, they did not compete. This is a team that won a Super Bowl 8 months ago, and they're out there. Scatterboo's doing backflips. I mean, it's embarrassing what happened, what the Giants did to
and
this
running
team.
it all over the place.
And this is it, though. This is the biggest thing right here. Excuse me, I'm sorry for cutting you off,
you're
but
good.
This is the biggest thing. I jokingly said, all right, I just hope that wasn't our best half in the first half. We got our ass even more in the second half.
And it wasn't even particularly a good first half. It wasn't anything.
Right.
But
that was our good half, though.
Yeah, exactly, and that was the good half. And, Jaws, you and I talked at halftime. I mean, here is a team that they dictated every single aspect of the game in the Giants. The Eagles didn't have an answer for anything.
Start to finish.
I try to think in simple terms. We could talk about 100 things in the next hour, and we will. But to me, the essence of football, the essence of how the game is played, is blocking and tackling. And we got handled in both those areas. Those are fundamental breakdowns on behalf of the players and the coaching staff. Not having this team prepared to play a Giant team that was prepared, and they whipped our butt because the essence of football is blocking and tackling. If you don't execute the basics, you get the score that you had today and you get handled.
Let me ask you guys a question. What's this team good at?
The Eagles?
What are they good at?
Right now?
What can they hang their hat on?
Nothing. Well, that's what we've talked about, the identity of this team. We've talked about it for the last couple of weeks. What is their identity? Last year, Jason, we knew what their identity was. Certainly after the bye week, they knocked on the door and said, we want to be the running team. Great, we're a running team. Let's go. We did it. They don't have an identity. And to Rube's point, they don't do anything particularly well right now.
Well, so I think everyone's saying something a little bit different, but here is the bottom line. Everyone's talking about last year. This is 2025. We're giving them a little bit too much credit and a little bit too much grace in the sense that we think the players that were on the roster last year is going to be the same player this year. The league is...
Rube's observations. Eagles defense gets gashed by rookie QB for 34-17 loss sloppy defense, and multiple turnovers contributed to the Eagles' second consecutive loss Thursday. by Reuben Frank, published October 9, 2025. Updated 2 hours ago. Log in or create a free profile to save articles. Bookmarker 0:00 play 0:00 / 1:13 mute share toggle, full screen Barrett Brooks, Reuben Frank, and Ron Jaworski break down the Eagles' loss to the Giants in Week 6, when some rookie running back is doing freaking backflips. In your face, yeah, that's really bad. Giants rookie Cam Skatebo ran for 3 touchdowns against the Eagles Thursday night at MetLife and did a backflip after each one. And I'm not sure there are more things more humiliating for a team that won a Super Bowl 8 months ago than having a rookie 4th-round pick do backflips on you. The Giants, 7.5-point underdogs, 4-19 in their last 23 games against the Eagles, 1-4 coming into the game, flat out humiliated the defending Super Bowl champs 34-17. Thursday night. Once again, the Eagles fell apart after doing some decent things early. They led 17-13 late in the second quarter, only to get outscored 21-0 over the next 22.5 minutes plus this drive-and-out gain in the second half. That 4-0 start is now 4-2, and this is a broken team right now. Brutal point 1. After 2 gruesome losses in 5 days, it's time to reassess where the Eagles are right now. That 4-0 record is now 4-2, and in 1 week, the Eagles blew a 14-point lead at home and lost by 17 points to a team that hadn't won a division game in 2 years. Kind of seems like 2023, when all those close wins turned into a disaster. Although that didn't happen till late in the season. The Eagles still haven't put together a consistent 60 minutes of football on either side of the ball, and maybe the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing. Maybe they just missed Josh Sweat, Darius Slay, Milton Williams, Isaiah Rodgers, and Mekhi Becton more than we realized. Maybe the injuries, and there have been a lot, have caught up with them. But the Eagles team we saw last year played with heart and confidence and swagger. They beat up their opponent, not the other way around. They knew how to stomp on a team when they had it down. They were a machine, and they were unstoppable. We saw signs during that 4-0 start that things weren't ideal, but you thought they'd figure it out. They haven't figured anything out. They're just a terrible football team right now. The Giants were laughing at the Eagles by the middle of the second half. Philadelphia Eagles. Find the latest Philadelphia Eagles news, highlights, analysis, and more with NBC Sports Philadelphia. 8 hours ago Eagles, CB, Quinyon Mitchell ruled out versus Giants. 11 hours ago Eagles inactives. Jalen Carter inactive against Giants 2A. I have no clue what the heck is going on with this defense, but right now they look nothing like the unit I thought they'd be, the unit they need to be, the unit they have to be. Allowing a 22-year-old quarterback making his 3rd career start playing for one of the NFL's worst offenses shred you like this? I'm running out of adjectives here. Inexcusable? Unforgivable? Shameful? Yeah, this is the NFL's youngest defense. Yeah, Jalen Carter was out. Yeah, they're still missing Nolan Smith. Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell had to leave the game with an injury. But are you kidding me? The Eagles let Jackson freaking Dart run around and make plays at will. They knew he was going to run, and they let him. They knew they were going to have plenty of chances to sack him, and they couldn't. They knew the Giants don't have very good receivers, but they couldn't stop them. They knew they weren't facing an elite running back, but he gashed them. They knew they were facing a team that committed 5 turnovers last week, but they didn't force any. They knew the Giants were 30th in the NFL on 3rd down, and they went 8-4-10 for crying out loud. What on earth? This wasn't the 2001 Rams or the 2018 Chiefs. This was one of the worst offenses in the NFL, and the Eagles were helpless against them. Coming on the heels of an 18-point 4th quarter against the Broncos, I went into Sunday way more concerned about the offense than the defense. But now, this defense is trending the wrong way. They got out-muscled, out-physicaled, out-effort, out-pushed around, out-intensitied. And I don't even know if those are real words, but this was a pathetic effort against a bad team with a rookie quarterback and a terrible coach. And everybody on that defense ought to be embarrassed right now. Point 2b. Last time the Giants had 4 or more 50-yard touchdown drives in a game against the Eagles was in Andy Reid's final game as Eagles head coach. December 30th, 2012, a 42-7 Giants win at MetLife. That was 26 games ago, and that was a 4-12 Eagles team. Point 3. I was feeling pretty good about Keil Ringo before this game, but wow, this was horrifying. I thought he battled the last 2 games, but after seeing this, you just can't keep running him out there. Vic Fangio benched him in the second quarter, only to put him back in when Mitchell got hurt. So now you're out there with Ringo and Adoree Jackson, who have both gotten benched. I'm not going to go into a rant about Isaiah Rodgers, who I campaigned for the Eagles to keep, but this is a real problem. Fangio may have to move Cooper DeJean to full-time outside corner, and I don't know if there are any other answers. Is Mac McWilliams ready to handle full-time slot duty? Perry Nickerson? They can't be any worse in the slot than Ringo has been outside. There's Eli Ricks on the practice squad. And Ambry Thomas, who was a third-round pick a few years ago. Anybody. Point 4. As bad as the defense was, let's not forget the offense, because once again they did enough good things early to fool you into thinking they could have some sustained success.